This video is brought to you by the Dragon Slayer. Be sure to check out our website for additional articles, videos, and commentary.
Welcome back to Game 2 in our match of Grixis Delver versus Jund. Jund is up Game 1. So we saw earlier a pretty early concession from Nick after thought scouring his Tassiger with probably his only way to deal with Chandra Pyromaster.
So, looking pretty close to the same beginning of the late game. Opening with the Jackson Probe, we got Olivia Valdarin, Tarmogoyf, Dark Confidant, Bolt.
That's a pretty good hand.
Yeah.
Aside from not having green for the Tarmogoyf, we can cast almost all our spells.
Mm-hmm. Definitely acceptable hand.
Yeah, I mean
dropping the Blood Crypt into Inquisition I feel like is just the best play here, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably where he goes. The only other play I could see is if, for whatever reason, Nick had a turn 1 Delver and Brian wants to deal with that right away, so he, plays the Mountain and bolts.
Yeah. Oh, and unfortunately now Nick has information on the hand, so he definitely wouldn't run a Delver out.
Yeah, probably not. We would hope not, at least.
Yeah.
So okay, that's going to go to 17 for Nick, probably a shock, down to 15. And probably just cast the Serum Visions in his hand, I would assume so, right?
Yeah. I don't see a better play.
The interesting thing is here, Nick's basically trying to set up to get some sort of action. It looks like he had Murderous Cut, Lightning Bolt in his hand, so maybe he's not even too scared of the Dark Confidant and Tarmogoyfs in the hand yet.
Alright, this is
good. Wow, that's perfect.
So this is great. So now, I would just keep the two top, right?
Yeah, I think so, right? Unless
there's no
he's feeling very risky.
He's got lands, though, so I would just the Delver on top, and then just cast the Delver.
And then, next turn after we can trigger.
For sure, and then, yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe
he
he's
land, though? It looks like he's... Oh, he got Swamp. Okay.
He does have Swamp in hand, so he can cast the Terminate. I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe he's thinking to push the Terminate and try and blind flip the Delver, but...
let's just see if it's too risky. He's
look at
pushing
that.
the Delver.
Push the Delver, okay.
Interesting play.
Maybe he just doesn't want to run it out into Lightning Bolt.
He has, yeah. That's true.
Not even to mention it's possible that Brian may have taken it with the Inquisition. And it looks like a lot of Delve cards in his hand. 2 Murderous Cut, Lightning Bolt, Visions, and a Tassiger. So maybe he just wants to get as close to the Tassiger as possible.
Yeah. I feel like that's definitely not a bad strategy right now. Because he can turn 2 Tassiger now.
Yeah, there are some weird conflict of interest, though, with his hand. It doesn't really synergize that well. He has 3 Delve spells, so if he's going to want to put pressure on the board, it looks like now he can cast Murderous Cut, but he's not going to probably be able to cast Tassiger or the second Murderous Cut anytime soon.
Well, I do feel like, I would think that maybe keeping... Well, what did we see in his hand? We saw a Terminate in
Brian's
hand, right? So we wouldn't, we wouldn't run the Tassiger out. Oh, yes.
Well, he's running it.
Yeah,
we're running it.
I guess you had to at some point or another now. But...
Well, I think, did we actually see a Terminate in his hand? We saw a Bolt, Dark Confidant, Inquisition.
Oh, that's right, and then the Goyf and Olivia. Yep. So then, no, he doesn't actually have the Terminate. So that's actually good. So unless he... Okay, I thought he just drew one. Okay, so I drew Scavenging.
Yeah, so that's probably actually... turn 2 Tassiger is probably the best play here.
Yep. So I'm assuming...
I guess this gives Nick enough time to set up for a Murderous Cut and even Bolt the Dark Confidant to get it out of the way.
Yeah. So, going for combat. Is he going to take it, or... I feel like...
I think if we're Brian here, we just take it, right? I don't think we have to get some card advantage.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That is a big hit. I don't even know if Olivia's that good in this matchup. Maybe it is, because he does have a bunch of tiny creatures.
It's the tiny creatures, and he can take the Tassiger. A lot of people, don't seem to really pay too much attention to this the second ability of Olivia, but it can really turn the tide of a game.
Oh, look at that. Here we go. And we have a double bolt on the Tassiger. Now, yeah, I guess, Brian knew what was in his hand, given he got rid of the only draw spell. He knows that he has no other action in hand. Yeah. So you 2 for 1 yourself, that's fine, but Nick doesn't really have much gas now. He's got a lot of removal spells, and that's pretty much it.
Yep.
So this gives Brian a little bit extra chance to set up. We know he has double Murderous Cut and Terminate. So that Olivia's probably not going to stick.
Yeah. That's for sure. So here comes the Terminate already off of the Goyf.
See, I actually don't mind casting the Murderous Cut there. Because, it is Delve, and he has 4 mana up. I don't see in that particular
Yeah, I mean,
situation.
I feel like that would have been the play, to just play the murderous cut.
Right, because we don't have anything else we want to do end of turn. Might as well use our mana a little bit more
I
efficiently.
mean, because I play a lot of usually black decks, and it's interesting to see the kind of the certain conditions met with certain. Because I remember very much with the in Scars of Meridian block with the Go for the Throat and the Wormcoil engine, with people going for a Dune Blade on a non-artifact creature, and then when the Wormcoil hit, they were sort of dead in the water with the Go for the Throats.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, in this situation, both of them are, pretty much the same.
I mean, yeah, these are universal kill spells, thankfully, but I mean, just to be for the sake of efficiency, it would have been better to cast the Murderous Cut.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it is 6 one way, half dozen the other. It doesn't really matter, I guess, at this point. I mean, Brian is a little low on lands here. Looks like he's going to try and take advantage of some Scavenging Ooze action here. And there goes the Tasigur. I mean, this is actually pretty good, for Brian. Even though Nick does have a ton of Delve spells in his hand, but he only has a graveyard for so long, and now he gets to resolve this Dark Confidant. Hopefully, I think Nick does have a Mana Leak in hand. So.
Now because I saw that he had cast the Murderous Cut after the Tasigur had been exiled with the Scavenging Ooze. Could he have, in response, after targeting the Tasigur with the Scavenging Ooze, could he have delved it away?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's no longer. It's not exiled at that point yet.
Okay.
So here we see Nick cast a Blood Moon. Well, I guess he's pretty basic heavy, it seems like, which is pretty interesting for the Grixis builds. I mean, they might play some number of basics. Probably he fetched accordingly to plan for the Blood Moon. And obviously, this is definitely a sideboard card here.
Yeah, this is unfortunately looking not very good for Brian at all.
And yeah, this is one of the ways that these decks, like the Splinter Twin decks and the Grixis decks, they can deal with Jund and Junk, especially. Blood Moon pretty much just locks them out of the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, Brian's essentially sitting down with 4 mountains.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's good for is 4 lightning bolts. I don't think he's going to get there.
No. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's going to be it for Brian, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right now, Nick's not applying any pressure. This Dark Confidant's already on board, and if it doesn't kill him, it may kill Nick first.
I think it's pretty safe bet, though, that... I mean, I don't know exactly, because maybe if there's an Abrupt Decay in his board...
Yeah, I mean, we have Nick at 8 right now.
Yeah. So that is a 4-turn clock, and, keeping the bolts live with the mountains is, of course, not good.
Okay, there you go. So Nick has Bolt in hand now. He's not dying anytime soon for that Dark Confidant.
Gen Charm.
Ooh, that is never getting cast this game.
So, I mean, if I was Nick, maybe I would just take it here and just see how far down I can push my luck with this Dark Confidant killing Brian.
Yeah, okay, I can see that play. I mean, Nick knows 50% of the cards Brian's drawing because of the Dark Confidant.
Yeah.
Also, when Brian discarding, he knows what he can and can't cast.
I mean, even if Brian does get some sort of, like a forest here.
So now he can just kill it with a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
I mean, he does also have another Murderous Cut in hand, so...
Yeah, he's got a Murderous Cut and a Bolt, and a Mana Leak, so any sort of spell that might even, come out of nowhere, he definitely can just, leak it away.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I mean, it's good that Brian drew the Forest. It's just way too late now for him to get back in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, he could try and cast a Tarmogoyf. That's probably his best bet, but Nick does have both removal spells for both creatures.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, who knows? He might just keep the Dark Confidant and try and let him kill himself with it.
Yep. Now see with the Ooze out, now I would switch to killing mode with the Dark Confidant.
Yeah, so actually what Nick can do here, which is probably the best play, is with Brian tapped off green, he can end a turn Bolt.
So...
See, I think that is just... I mean, it is an effective use of mana. I just think that's probably a very situational Bolt. But I guess, again... Both are kill spells in a situation.
The Murderous Cut, I mean, yeah, because if he does drop a Goyf, then, but he also does. See, there comes the Abrupt Decay, and Brian does have the Swamp in his hand,
and that's it. It looks like that's it.
Yeah,
with 2 damage off the Abrupt Decay and a Bolt to the face.
Yep.
And Brian's gonna scoop it up. We're on to game 3.